The Newsday continues here on One News Now. I'm Jess De Los Santos. The NDRRMC is calling for the passage of a Magna Carta for disaster workers. NDRRMC spokesperson Rafi Alejandro said the 5 fallen rescuers from Bulacan were employed through a job order and are not permanent employees. The proposed law provides security of tenure, hazard pay, insurance, and retirement benefits to disaster relief workers.
Gusto natin sa local government unit na bigyan po ng sapat or tamang posisyon or plantilla yung ating mga disaster workers, hindi lang yung mga rescuers, but yung ating mga tinatawag na dream workers, no? Kasi tama ka, karamihan pa rin mga job order or contract of service at ito naman ay wala silang sapat na benepisyo.
Hinagpis na anak ni Narciso.
Provincial government of Bulacan admits that their hands are tied on the matter. However, they will discuss how they can provide further assistance to rescuers. The provincial government has also assured families of the victims that they will shoulder all funeral expenses. The Sierra Madre became a trending topic online for serving as a natural barrier against typhoons. With this, some environment advocates are now shifting the discussion to threats of deforestation in the mountain range. Mobile journalist Jacob Lazaro with the report.
Though Super Typhoon Karding pummeled several areas in Luzon, it also left a reminder of nature's important role in protecting the country from calamities. Sierra Madre, the country's longest mountain range, trends on Twitter as netizens show gratitude to this natural guardian for providing protection against what could have been a far worse catastrophe. Ana Reyes, a volunteer in the Masungi Deer Reserve in Rizal, said, because of the mountain range, their community faced a relatively weaker brunt of Karding.
Historically, millions of people living in the cities are shielded from the very worst effects of typhoons na nanggagaling sa Pacific Ocean.
Spanning more than 500 kilometers across central and northern Luzon, the tall mountains of Sierra Madre serve as a natural barrier against typhoons, severely weakening them before landfall. This protection is enjoyed by populous regions like Metro Manila and Quezon Province. But while Sierra Madre has unfailingly protected Filipinos, many ask the question, have we done enough to protect it? A study conducted by the University of the Philippines and NASA looked at images of Sierra Madre from space and noticed a significant decrease in its forest area in recent years. In 2018, the loss to forest area was 3,900. The study found that the forests of Sierra Madre continuously shrink due to deforestation.
Imagine if wala yung Sierra Madre, when Karding hit, we would just bear the full force of the typhoon. And needless to say, hindi lang flooding and landslide yung ma-experience natin. We will lose more lives and homes.
With fewer and fewer trees, Reyes agrees that the capacity of Sierra Madre as a natural barrier is weakening. And with this, the threats of landslides and flooding grows. She emphasized that the main threats are those that cause deforestation, such as illegal logging, mining, forest fires, and construction of residential and commercial spaces and dams. Advocates are now taking the opportunity to urge other Filipinos to sign their petition to call off the construction of the Kaliwa Dam in Quezon Province, which is also heavily opposed by indigenous communities in the area. Rizal Congressman Juan Fidel Felipe Nograles on Monday also renewed his push for the immediate passage of House Bill No. 1972, which would create a Sierra Madre Development Authority, which would help preserve our natural guardian in the face of a worsening climate change. Mobile journalist Jacob Lazaro, we are One News.
In other news, the Office of the Solicitor General is still studying its next move with regard to the International Criminal Court's investigation on the Duterte drug war. In a statement, Solicitor General Menardo Guevara said his office will pursue all legal remedies in relation to the issue. The OSG noted that the ICC has not yet ruled on the Philippine government's request to deny further investigations on the drug war. Meanwhile, Justice Secretary Boying Remulla maintained that the country does not need to answer to the ICC.
We are a sovereign country that has a functioning system.
So I don't see what the racket is all about, because as far as we're concerned, we're not members of the ICC anymore.
More stories after this short break. Stay with us. You're still watching One News Now. I'm Jess De Los Santos. A school in Nueva Ecija is seeking aid after the damage brought by Typhoon Karding. Jenny Dongon with the story.
Super Typhoon Karding damaged not only farms but also schools in Nueva Ecija. The Malimba Elementary School in Gapan had its walls toppled and its steel beams and roof blown away by the heavy rain and strong wind. Maria Aurora Santiago, the school principal, says all 17 of their classrooms were totally damaged. Teachers are also doing everything they can to save some learning materials, modules, and other school supplies.
Malungkot, masakit sa dibdib, pero umaasa kami na ito ay maibabangon namin muli sa tulong ng mga internal and external stakeholders namin, sa tulong ng DepEd at ng mga may magandang loob na nakaabang na magbibigay sa amin ng suporta.
The school is also looking for an alternative area to conduct face-to-face classes. They are also considering reverting to the use of modules once classes resume on October 5. But since most of the modules and books were soaked in flood water, they are now asking for help from nearby schools. Some have promised to lend them the needed learning materials. Another elementary school just a kilometer away only suffered minor damages. The city engineering office inspected the school today. Engineer Enrique Roberto said materials used for the school were according to standard, based on their assessment.
Kaya naman pong i-sustain, kaya lang po, yung lakas po talaga ng hangin dito po sumentro. Kaya makikita naman po natin, lalo itong gym natin, totally devastated po siya. Hindi na po talaga papakinabangan. Pero yung mga materials po na ginamit, kung makikita naman po natin, sa initial assessment naman po namin, standard naman po siya.
Despite this, the city engineer recommends total demolition of the buildings after it sustained damage from the typhoon. The education department says typhoon-affected school can revert to distance learning. Based on DepEd's initial assessment, 20 schools were damaged by Karding's onslaught. The DepEd says 112 million pesos is needed for repairs. For News 5, Jenny Dongon, We Are One News.
Japan bids farewell to former Prime Minister Shinzo Abe during a state funeral. Japan honored Abe with flowers, prayers, and a 19-gun salute. Foreign dignitaries who attended the ceremony include U.S. Vice President Kamala Harris and Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Japanese Prime Minister Fumio Kishida also offered a 12-minute tribute for Abe. Meanwhile, thousands of Japanese flocked to streets to protest over what they said is a costly state funeral for the former Prime Minister. The estimated cost for Abe's funeral is at $11 million. For more updates, visit News 5, the Philippine Star, and Business World online. Visit our website, onenews.ph, for more in-depth analysis. You can also catch One News on the Signal Play app. Register for a free account now at www.signalplay.com and stream One News live anytime, anywhere. I'm Jess De Los Santos. We are One News.